Hi guys, well you're joining me at the Two Wheel Centre, which as you can see is quite busy today. I'm going to take this little one out. It's a Suzuki GSX 8R. I'm going to take her out and we're going to tell you what we think of her. So it's quite a good looking bike. So join me on the road and I'll tell you what I think. Okay guys, like the intro said, we're at the Two Wheel Centre. My bike's just come in for her first service. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take this Suzuki GSX 8R for a ride. First impressions, quite sporty, sitting on it. Ergonomics are obviously on the sporty side. So let's have a look at the dash then, shall we? Make sure that everything is working and recording, which it is, yeah. Let's have a look at what this does. Brilliant. One touch Suzuki start, as always. Wow, we've got one with petrol in it as well. It's unusual. Okay, so what we're going to do, obviously, it's not as sporty torty as I thought it was going to be, but it's very light and very agile. So let's have a look. What would you think? This has got a V-twin engine, which is in the V-Strom 800 as well, which I do want to have a little go on at some point. We do seem to have a there's a big black cloud waiting over me by the looks of it. Feels very tiny, teeny tiny. Right, let's get something out of the way real quick. I came into motorcycling really seriously back in 2003, and the very first bike I bought was, obviously I passed my test many years before that and I was riding around on, you know, bits and bobs and what have you. However, the main bike that I purchased when I came back was in fact a GSXR 600. Okay, very nimble. Yeah, GSXR 600 was the first bike I bought, right? And that just was 105 brake horsepower, a screaming 4-cylinder. It was absolutely immense. Now we know those days are gone. Euro emissions have absolutely killed the 600, the 750 market. I think Kawasaki still do a 600, but it's a track focused bike. So they're gone. Obviously you can tell that. And so those emission engines, those superb, absolutely superb engines, are now gone. They're gone forever, unfortunately. And it's a shame because they were stunning. But yeah, we move on, and I suppose that's what we've got to do, which is fine. So first, ergonomics. No, I don't think it's got a quick shifter on it. Don't feel like it anyway. Can't see. No, there's no. It doesn't look like it's got a quick shifter on it. But this bike's not expensive at all. It can be reduced down to it's got some character. That engine is very characterful. It's got lots of grunt. Lots of grunt. Yay! Oh, calm down, Eddie. Right, so yeah. So that's what I grew up on, and the 600 and 750 bikes were absolutely awesome. They were brilliant bikes. Like I say, they've gone, so they've had to come up with something else, and every manufacturer's doing it. BMW, Suzuki, Honda, they brought the new Hornet out that's got a twin engine in it. So this is obviously the way that we're going to get the emissions down. So for a starter for 10, this is not going to be like a GSX R600 or 750, and I can assure you it's not. It's small, it feels so tiny. We've got 3 modes, A, B and C. We've got traction control 1 to 5, and I think electronics wise you've got your hazards and your modes and everything, and I think that's about it. I think that's about your barrier on it. So first impressions of sat on it. Mirrors are great, absolutely fine. The screen, no. It's like almost like a naked screen. However, we have got a bit of fairing down the side, although I do seem to be sticking out further than that because I can feel my jeans flapping around. So of that it ain't. It's not like a fully faired bike. I thought this was trying to be a GSX R600. It's about 85 brake horsepower or thereabouts, which I thought was already down on the old 600. Now I'm sat on it, I can assure you it's not trying to be a GSX R600. I don't believe that Suzuki brought this out to replace the GSX R600 or the 750. This is a standalone machine. The bike stands on its own. It's not full sports. It's not like, it's a relaxed position. It's it's nice. It's quite nice. It is. It's my leg position is very similar to mine, I think. It's probably are a bit more knees up, but yeah. No cruise control. But then again, I don't use mine that much, if I'm honest. I use it more when you're in roadworks or going down a road like this at 50 mile an hour. To try and keep you around the 50 mark. The engine, well, that sounds fine. It's characterful. It's a characterful twin cylinder engine. Again, it's the same. I believe it's derived from the 650 V-Strom engine. Just an update to that. Obviously I am on my own today. Tez hasn't come out. It's got some nice pull on it. The bars are so it is kind of small. I'm a biggish bloke, so in fairness, me jumping on this isn't really that fair for it. However, I've got to admit, I've certainly not uncomfortable. Feel flickability wise, yeah, it turns in quite amicably. We'll find out more when we get on some of our country lanes. What's roll on like? Top gear roll on? Plentiful. Yeah, he wants to dance. She's happy to dance. There's plenty enough there. We always say this channel is for real world riding, always. We never say anything different. We always say for the real world. Now a GSX R600 is actually better to be on a track, and the 750 even more so. They are track focused, that type of machine. And today it's quite windy, and with it being windy, it's not throwing the bike around. Yeah, you just give it a little tickle, and yeah, I know the GoPro's not showing it, but this is uphill, and she's coping with that absolutely fine. Oh, what's the neutral light to find? Very easy. Brakes, very good. Back brakes pretty good. Yeah, back brakes good as well. Yeah, brakes are really good. Let's tee up a little bit more. Indicators easily accessible, lights usual, push out and flash on. It's got Suzuki's anti-stall. As soon as you put it in gear, the revs raise. Obviously it's got soft touch as well, soft touch start. You don't have to hold the button, you just touch the button and it starts. Dash is easy to read. Yeah, dead easy to turn as well. It's very light. A very light bike. I'm not going to go mad with her. Yeah, she's got plenty of pull. So what's my take on that then? It's very grunty. Lots of torque. Doesn't feel like an 85 brake horsepower engine, that can assure you. It's a lot more peppy than I thought it was going to be. I'll be honest with you, I've not watched any reviews on this bike. What I've been doing, I've noticed that when I've been going to test ride a bike, I've started watching reviews, and I feel the best ones that I've done are the ones where I haven't. I've not looked at them, I'm not bothered. I would say this bike is going to be a lot of fun. Suspension is obviously very hard because it is more sporty. That just means it'll handle better. That's all that means. Yeah, the screen is rubbish. But, oh, the brakes are immense. Well done, Suzuki, the brakes are very good. Your top gear roll-on's immense. Flickability, unbelievable. It's very naughty but nice, all at the same time. That gearbox is slick as anything. Won't have a quick shifter on it, but it's certainly slick. It's not complaining at all, it's just a lot of fun. I'm telling you now, you will go the long way round wherever you go. Wherever you decide to go, you will pick the long route. Sounds gorgeous, that engine. Oh, that's a shame. Engine braking is excellent. It handles the bumps really well, really well. It's very impressive. Exciting, enjoyable, fun, looks wise. I like the look of it. I prefer the one with the fairing than the one without it. I think it looks a bit more sporty. However, it's raining really badly over there, so I ain't going that way. I'm going that way. It's very hard, or you know, it's very easy to start exceeding speed limits. It seems to want to. It just wants to go. What an impressive little bike this is. I know it's 800cc. I know it is. You know, it's still a decent size CC bike. However, it is only 85 brake horsepower. But because it's an 800cc bike, you've got the 800cc torque, which you know, sometimes you need torque over brake horsepower's all right. Reeling off loads of figures, you can have a 200 brake horsepower bike, but if it's got no torque, it won't pull. You'll have to just sit there like the old two-strokes and rev the crap out of them. If you do that, then you'll, if that's the sort of thing you want to do, this ain't the bike. But for just picking up and disappearing down the road, this is the bike. I can't comment for it being too up. However, I would imagine it will be absolutely fine. I don't think there's an awful lot of room on the back, but then again, that's standard nowadays on most bikes. I've got to keep an eye on my camera, and I've got to keep an eye on oh, that engine braking into corners is lovely. Oh, the speed train lock. Nowhere near the red line, nowhere near it. I'm just taking it up to about 6.5. What a glorious machine for just going out and playing. It makes you want to just play. Makes you want to slam your knee down on the floor and go. It's an absolute hoot. I'm going to pull over in a little while, or in a bit, and we'll have a look. So you just want to stick your knee out and just chuck it in. So light and flickable. I tell you what, I wish you could see the smile on my face right now this bike is providing. I'm holding everything in I can to stop from just winding it on. I didn't think for 1 minute I was going to even like this bike, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love this bike. Well done, Suzuki. Do you know what? Their range is just fantastic. I'm going to try and get on some more manufacturers' bikes soon. Again, thank you to Two Wheel Centre for lending us this bike. You know, it's very good of you. We always say we'll take out, if you've got anything, we'll take it out and we'll give it a test. And you know, we're not biased in any way. If I think it's rubbish, I'll tell you it's rubbish. Let's be honest, the first time I took the GT out, I thought it was absolute rubbish. And we came on this run. And if you go back and look at that video, I wasn't impressed at all. This is, I feel, is it? Just straight out of the box. So skinny as well. I can't get over how skinny the bike is. Very confidence inspiring, very, very easy to ride quickly. Very easy. I can see me yeah, it's very confidence inspiring, bless it. Now, I've purposely not looked at the tyres on this because I wanted to just have a look and feel of the bike. And that means if it's actually shod with Dunlops, they suit this bike. I wasn't going to be biased. I'm going to look at them and go, oh, well, you know, I'm not riding that hard. I wanted to feel the bike for what it is. And boy, oh boy, am I feeling it. Whoa. Bit of grit there, but never mind. Bit of gravel. That was all done on engine braking. It was brilliant. Its gearbox is just typical Suzuki, slick as anything. Indicator easy to get out. Adjusting everything's easy. It's just on here normal. Headlights dead easy. Mirrors are great. Love the colour scheme in black. Whether it's the sort of bike that would make me look round, I don't know. But I tell you what, the sort of bike it is. It's the sort I'd want to buy trinkets for it. I'd want to get a tail tidy for it. I'd want to put an exhaust. Excuse me. I want to put an exhaust on it. I'd want to put, you know, I would like to see if there's. I'd say that I'd change the screen, but I'm not so sure I would. And I'll tell you for why. Because that all adds to the incentiveness of the ride. The fact that you are where you are, and the wind's not. It's not hitting me hard. But it gives you that incentiveness of the ride, that sensibility, that sense of, you know, wow, I'm flying. You know what I mean? That's what it makes you feel like you're just flying. And it wants to fly. What a machine. Okay, everybody, let's have a look round. This is your Suzuki GSX 8R. I love the fact that the lights are stacked, so you haven't got one on, one off, like we have. Do you know what? It's got Nissan brakes, or Nissan brakes. They're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. I know everybody goes on about Brembros. The most bikes I've actually ridden when they've got Nissan on, they always seem to be okay. They always seem to be good brakes. Those brakes are sharp. I'm not saying they're better than mine, because not necessarily. Mine have got more feel, but it's a lighter bike as well. But they're very, very sharp, those brakes. Certainly doesn't like it's been made to any sort of a budget. Now, it is running Dunlop Sports Max, and they suit the bike. The bike feels maybe because it's light. I'm on it on my own. I don't know, but it feels okay. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with those tyres on this. Nothing wrong with it at all. Maybe the GT is a bit heavier, doesn't suit the tyres so well. But I've got to admit, I'm not offended by him in any way, shape or form. That's why I rode the bike without looking. I wanted to do that just to make sure. So yeah, I certainly wouldn't be swayed away from it. I wouldn't go straight out and change the tyres either. Probably when they're worn out, I would change them for a different brand. But that's it. There was one bend that I went round earlier on. It seemed to sort of wash out a little bit, but there was gravel on that, so I'm not blaming tyres for that one. Like I say, slick as anything through the gearbox. Looks like that rain that I said was over there is now here. But this is a proper blast. It's a proper jump on it, have a good ride. However, I'll tell you, I won't go touring on it, but you know what? You can tour on anything. If that's what you've got, you chuck panniers on this easily. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It ain't supposed to be the GSXR of the 600s or 750. This reminds me very much of my old GSR 750 I had. It's just a country lane scratcher, and it's got ample amounts of power for it, and the seating position reminds me of that as well. You know, I don't feel as cramped on this as I did on that, I will tell you that. However, yeah, maybe that's what it's supposed to be replacing. The GSR, so I can't remember what it was now. I think it was a GSR.